Number 10. The Wendigo, the hunger that wears a face. Imagine being so hungry you'd eat your best friend, and then keep eating even after you're full. That's basically the Wendigo, a monster from Algonquian folklore that represents hunger so deep it eats your humanity. Picture a skeletal, deer-headed creature with rotting lips, glowing eyes, and ribs poking out like the world's worst diet ad. Its favorite seasoning, regret. According to legend, the Wendigo was once a person, usually someone who resorted to cannibalism during brutal northern winters, but instead of just being shamed by the tribe and moving on, they got promoted to forest demon. Every time it eats, it grows taller, hungrier, and emptier, like your Amazon wish list during an emotional crisis. Psychologists have even named a disorder after it, Wendigo psychosis, and where people believe they're turning into a monster with an insatiable urge to eat human flesh. Basically, it's the 17th century version of I have intrusive thoughts but make them demonic. The real horror of the Wendigo isn't its claws, it's the symbolism. It's what happens when greed, hunger, or obsession eats away your soul until you're just a hollow skeleton chasing more. In short, it's late-stage capitalism with antlers. Yeah. Number 9. The Nucalavi, the horse that hates humanity. Scotland really said, let's make a monster that looks like a horse, smells like a corpse, and hates every living thing. The Nucalavi is that cursed creature. It's a skinless horse with a human torso growing out of its back, muscles and veins exposed like a bad anatomy lesson. Its breath kills crops. Its presence spoils milk. It's like nature's way of saying, go inside and mind your own business. It's said to come from the Orkney Islands, and the only thing that can stop it, fresh water. Apparently, this apocalypse horse has a weird allergy to rivers, which means your only defense is sprinting to the nearest puddle like your life depends on it, because it literally does. Some historians say the Nucalavi was a myth born from fear of disease and pollution brought by the sea. Others think it's a metaphor for uncontrollable rage, the kind that burns everything in its path and then blames you for making it angry. Either way, it's a reminder that sometimes the monsters aren't in the ocean, they ride out of it, screaming about humanity's bad hygiene. Number 8. The Pontianak, the ghost of the wronged woman. If Southeast Asia ever made a most terrifying entities list, the Pontianak would take first place, and probably kill the host. She's a pale, beautiful woman in white, with long black hair and a smile that says, you're about to die, but I'll make it weirdly intimate. Born from the spirit of a woman who died during childbirth, she's the embodiment of grief turned toxic. She floats through the night, her cries echoing like lullabies in reverse, hunting men who wronged women. The sound of her laughter means she's far away, but if you hear her crying softly behind you, congratulations, you're already dead. Culturally, the Pontianak is more than just a jump scare. She's payback. She's what happens when centuries of suppressed feminine rage put on eyeliner and said, I'm not healing, I'm haunting. Modern storytellers call her a symbol of female vengeance, but honestly, she's also a metaphor for guilt, the kind that finds you in the dark when you think you've moved on. Basically, if you ever see a woman floating outside your window at 3 a.m., don't ask if she's okay. She's not. Number 7, the Jorogumo, the spider wife. You shouldn't swipe right on Japanese folklore said, men fear commitment, so let's make that literal. Enter the Jorogumo, a seductive woman who lures men into her home, gives them a drink, and then reveals she's actually a massive spider. You know, standard first date stuff. She spins silk around her victims while they're entranced, then drains their life force like an energy vampire with better hair. But the wild part is how she evolved in legend. Sometimes she's not just a monster, she's an allegory for desire itself. The kind that feels beautiful until you realize you're tangled up and can't breathe. Psychologically, the Jorogumo is about projection, the fantasy of love that hides danger, the way your brain can turn red flags into rose petals because you want the illusion more than the truth. She's every toxic relationship where you say, maybe I can change her, while she's already wrapping the web. So next time your heart says mystery is sexy, remember, spiders don't build webs for decoration. Number 6, the Tikbalang, the trickster with horse legs and bad vibes. If you ever go hiking in the Philippines and the forest suddenly feels wrong, like the trees are whispering directions that don't make sense, congratulations, you've probably met a Tikbalang. Picture a creature with a muscular human body and the head and legs of a horse, permanently smirking like it knows you're lost and it's your fault. The Tikbalang doesn't eat you. Oh no, it's worse than that. It just messes with you. It leads travelers in circles until they lose their minds, makes strange noises from the trees, and rearranges your path so you end up exactly where you started. Except this time, you're terrified and questioning your GPS. Folklorists think the Tikbalang was a personification of the forest itself, a trickster spirit teaching you not to disrespect nature. In other words, if you're loud, arrogant, or think you can dominate the jungle will dominate you. And here's the psychological part. The Tikbalang is basically the anxiety of being lost given a face. It's that creeping dread that maybe you're not as in control of your life as you thought. The forest just makes that metaphor painfully literal, so if you ever feel watched among the trees, you probably are. Number 5, the Dullahan, Ireland's headless collector. Imagine Uber Eats, but for souls. The Dullahan rides at night, head tucked under one arm, eyes glowing like rotten gold coins, and a whip made from human spines. When it stops riding, someone nearby dies. Efficient, but not exactly comforting. From Irish folklore, this grim horseman is said to call your name right before you die. No shouting, no speeches, just a quiet, decapitated guy casually announcing your expiration date. He's kind of like the IRS of the underworld. You can't reason with him, and he always finds you. Symbolically, the Dullahan is death stripped of mercy. There's no bargaining, no poetic afterlife, no glowing tunnel, just inevitability on horseback. In medieval times, he probably represented the random nature of death, disease, war, famine, things that arrived unannounced, like a knock at the door from someone you wish didn't know your name. And psychologically, he's that awareness of mortality we all try to ignore. You know, the one that sneaks up during a quiet night when your brain whispers, you're going to die someday. The Dullahan just puts it on a horse and gives it style. Number 4, the Baba Yaga, the grandma you shouldn't visit alone. If the Grimm brothers had a grandmother who ate people, she'd be Baba Yaga. A flying witch from Slavic folklore, she lives in a hut that stands on chicken legs. Yes, chicken legs. And flies through the forest in a mortar and pestle like she's commuting to work through chaos. Baba Yaga is both terrifying and strangely wise. Sometimes she devours travelers. Sometimes she gives them cryptic life advice before sending them on their way. It's like meeting your therapist and your executioner in the same session. Her character's rooted in ancient archetypes. The wild woman, the keeper of transformation. Jungian psychologists would say she's the shadow mother, the one who forces you to confront fear, pain, and the price of maturity. Every fairy tale hero who meets Baba Yaga walks away either traumatized or transformed, or both. So yeah, she's scary, but also necessary. She's life's way of saying, you want wisdom? Fine, but it's gonna hurt first. Number 3, the Knuckle-of-E's cousin, the Kelpie, aka your horse is lying to you. You're walking by a Scottish loch and see a beautiful horse grazing near the water. You reach out to pet it, and because what could go wrong? And suddenly your hand sticks to its skin. You realize too late, this isn't a horse. It's a Kelpie, a shape-shifting water demon that lures people onto its back and then drags them underwater to drown. Basically, it's a myth that says, if it looks too good to be true, it's probably a murder horse. The Kelpie reflects a universal fear, the beauty that hides danger, the illusion that kills curiosity. It's the folkloric version of don't trust appearances, centuries before social media filters existed. In psychological terms, the Kelpie is that part of human desire that ignores red flags. The compulsion to touch what we know is dangerous, just to feel something wild again. It's why we chase toxic relationships, reckless thrills, and forbidden temptations. The Kelpie just makes the consequences wetter. So next time you see something shiny and perfect waiting by the water, maybe just keep walking. Number 2, The aswang, the shape-shifting nightmare of the Philippines. The aswang is basically the entire horror movie genre compressed into one creature. It's a shapeshifter, vampire, ghoul, and witch all at once. Like a greatest hits of everything that wants to ruin your night. By day, it looks like a normal person. By night, it grows wings, detaches its upper torso, and hunts for blood, unborn babies, or anything with a pulse. If that's not nightmare fuel, it also has a long, thin tongue, like a mosquito from hell, in which it uses to slurp blood through windows. Imagine waking up at 3 a.m., hearing a noise on your roof, and realizing your roof is breathing. The aswang isn't just random folklore. It's psychological warfare disguised as storytelling. It was used in rural Filipino culture to explain mysterious deaths, missing livestock, and social paranoia, especially toward women living alone. Sound familiar? Yep, the myth often painted independent women as secret monsters. It's folklore's way of saying, we fear what we can't control. From a psychological lens, the aswang is the embodiment of projection, society's hidden fears about sexuality, independence, and power. It's the monster created when repression festers, because sometimes the real horror isn't what flies at night. It's the collective fear that built it. So next time someone calls you too mysterious, remember, in another century, that was a death sentence with wings. Number 1, the jinn, the smoke between worlds. Before genie in a lamp became a cartoon cliche, there were the jinn, ancient beings made of smokeless fire from pre-Islamic and Islamic mythology. They're not cute wish granters, they're cosmic free agents with free will, capable of love, rage, and total chaos. In short, humans, but with better special effects. The jinn live parallel to us, invisible, unpredictable, occasionally helpful, often horrifying. They can whisper thoughts into your mind, appear as shadows, or attach themselves to a person's fate like a glitch in your spiritual code. Some stories say they fall in love with humans, others say they ruin your life just to see what happens. The psychology behind the jinn myth is fascinating. They represent the unseen forces of the mind, impulses, temptations, obsessions, intrusive thoughts, the stuff that feels alien yet intimately ours. In modern terms, the jinn are the externalized version of your inner chaos, the things you can't control but can't stop feeding. That's what makes them terrifying. You can't just stab or exorcise your own darkness. The jinn remind us that every human carries invisible worlds inside them, some benevolent, some destructive, and the border between them is thinner than smoke. So yeah, maybe there is something whispering in your ear at night. Maybe it's ancient fire, or maybe it's just your subconscious trying to tell you that you're haunted by yourself. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.